Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, saving money is just tough? Maybe you've skipped Starbucks runs, cancelled subscriptions, or even created a budget, yet your savings just don't seem to grow fast enough. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. But don't worry. Today, I'm going to share 5 powerful, yet simple strategies to help you double your savings in the next year without giving up the things you love. So, whether you're saving for an emergency fund, a dream vacation, or breaking free from living paycheck to paycheck, grab a drink, maybe a notebook, and let's dive in. Strategy number: reevaluate your biggest expenses. Did you know that most households spend the most money in just 3 categories: housing, transportation, and food? It's tempting to focus on cutting small costs, like skipping coffee runs, but those small tweaks can only take you so far. Let's zoom in on the big expenses instead, because that's where the magic happens. Take housing, for example. If you rent, consider negotiating your lease. I recently signed a new apartment lease, and by offering to extend my lease, I got a small discount and 2 weeks of free rent. That saved me hundreds of dollars, way more than skipping coffee ever would. Or think about transportation. Could you shop around for better car insurance rates or bundle your home and auto insurance for a discount? You could save $300 to $500 a year just by making one phone call. The key takeaway here: reflect on your biggest expenses and find creative ways to shrink them. Pause this video, jot down your top expense, housing, transportation, or food, and brainstorm one way to reduce it. Got it? Great, let's move on to the next strategy. Strategy number 2, reverse budgeting. Here's a game changer: reverse budgeting. Instead of spending first and saving what's left, flip the script. Save first. Let's say you earn $4,500 a month, and you want to save $500. As soon as you get paid, set aside that $500, automatically if possible. The remaining $4,000 becomes your budget for everything else. To do this effectively, start by analyzing your spending habits. Look at your last 3 months of expenses to calculate your true monthly average. Then aim for a savings rate of around 20%. That might seem high, but it's a stretch goal. Even if you only hit 15%, that's still fantastic progress. Here's why saving 20% is worth aiming for. If you start at 25 years old, earn $60,000 a year, and save 15% of your income, you could retire with $2.5 million by age 65. Even saving just 10% could get you $1.6 million. The earlier you start, the bigger the rewards, thanks to the magic of compounding. Strategy number 3, automate your savings. One of my favorite tips comes from Morgan Housel, author of The Psychology of Money. It's not what you earn, it's what you save. Automating your savings is one of the easiest ways to achieve this. For example, every month when I get paid, I have an automatic transfer set up to move a portion of my income into my savings account. This happens before I even think about spending, out of sight, out of mind, but my savings grow steadily. And if you have a 401k, you're probably already doing this. Your contributions come straight out of your paycheck, and because you never see the money, you're not tempted to spend it. The same principle applies to automating savings for other goals. Start today. Log into your banking app and set up an automatic transfer to move a portion of your paycheck into savings. Future, you will thank you. Strategy number 4, break down big goals into bite-sized chunks. Big goals can feel overwhelming, but here's the trick. Break them down. Let's say you're saving $7,500 this year, but you want to hit $15,000 next year. That's an extra $7,500 to save. Sounds like a lot, right? But let's break it down. $7,500 a year equals $625 a month, or about 156 hours a week. Suddenly, it's much more manageable. Researchers have found that people are 4 times more likely to save when goals are framed in smaller increments. For example, saving $5 a day feels much easier than saving $150 a month, even though they're the same amount. So take your savings goal, break it into monthly or weekly targets, and start chipping away. It's like running a marathon, 1 mile at a time. Strategy number 5, create a vault account. This one's my personal favorite. Create a vault account. Think of it as a locked treasure chest for your money, a place you can't casually dip into. To set up a vault account, open a separate account at a bank you don't usually use. Bonus points if it's far away or online only. Automate transfers to this account every payday. Set rules: no withdrawals unless it's a true emergency or you've hit your savings goal. For extra security, skip ordering a debit card and don't link this account to Venmo or PayPal. Make it as hard as possible to access the funds. By creating barriers, you'll give yourself time to reconsider any impulse decisions and keep your savings safe.